So you're on the real estate roller coaster. Woo-wee! No, it's not that great. This is where your income one month is way down here. Next month you have a good month. Next month you have a bad month. And it's all just because one simple principle that you haven't learned yet. And that's how to generate a consistent flow of leads every single week into your real estate business so eventually you can grow. In this video, I'm going to show you the top tricks that we've coached thousands of agents on all around the country on how you can grow your business with a consistent lead generation strategy that we teach. Buckle up.
Party like it just got paid. Lot of hell set to be raised on a sideways Saturday night.
So if this is your first time to my channel, first, thank you for visiting. And if you're an agent that's looking to grow your business and you're always looking to improve and earn more income, go ahead and follow me by clicking that subscribe button down below. And I guarantee that you're gonna get some really great content that's gonna help you grow your business, not just in your real estate business, but also grow personally and professionally. For the last 24 years, I've been a student of the game of real estate, from investing in real estate to personally selling thousands of homes myself, and more recently, helping our group of over 12,000 agents sell over 50,000 homes just in 2022 alone. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen our agents facing is, how do I get off this real estate roller coaster? This is what we call it when one month you have a really, really great month, and then the next month your income drops because maybe you only have one or no sales. Then the next month it kind of goes back up again, and then all to come back down the following month. And the whole reason why this happens is because most agents, when they come out of real estate school, they don't teach you how to build a sales funnel. They don't teach you marketing principles that are essential for ultimately taking an audience and turning that audience into followers, and then from followers turning them into clients. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's training on lead generation for your real estate business. Today we're going to cover 3 things that are proven that you can start immediately taking action on and deploying today in your business. And the best part, they're not going to cost you a dime. So first, we're going to talk about how to become the celebrity agent in your marketplace. Why is that important? Well, the truth of it is that in today's market, the marketing that I start seeing some of these real estate agents doing is just straight up funny, okay? There's the old school way of marketing where we're putting our pictures up with silly slogans and this and that. And what I'm telling you is that that really doesn't build trust with your clientele. There's a better way of doing it. We're gonna go over how you can magnetically attract new clients to you through using video and a content strategy, which actually brings us to the second thing that you're gonna learn today, which is our content strategy. So first of all, we're gonna examine what is a content strategy actually, right? It is your strategy of what you're going to, the value you're gonna be putting out into the marketplace for what we call your total addressable market, or your TAM. These are the people that might do business with you. These are people that own a home who are thinking of maybe selling in the next 12 months or so, or maybe they're home buyers who are thinking of buying their first or second or move up home, or maybe they're downsizing. How do we get our message to that market through a content strategy? The third thing we're gonna go over today is how to execute on it. I mean, let's face it, you can learn all these cool things, but unless you actually have a plan on how to execute on it, it's all worthless, right? So we're gonna dig into that today. So let's start with our first step, how to become the celebrity branded agent in your marketplace so you can magnetically attract agents to you and earn upwards of $500,000 to $1 million of income without cold calling, without door knocking, without hanging things on people's doors. Let's get started. Okay, so I have a question for you. How do you think real estate agents are positioned in the mind of the consumer? So think about it. You've seen some billboards, maybe you've seen some shopping carts, and here's just a couple examples of what I've personally seen. Now, I found these just on the internet right now, and in looking at these slides right here, what would you say we are positioned as real estate agents? Would you say that we're positioning ourselves as a commodity or a premium? Definitely a commodity. If you're advertising, I have the lowest fees, or, hey, when choosing a realtor, the one talking about, courage and brains and heart, or the guy with his cat, I'll find your perfect home. These may seem funny and silly or whatever, but what I can tell you folks is that this does not build trust and authority with your audience. When you're thinking about marketing, the goal in marketing initially is awareness, and then to build trust. After you've got their attention, you need to build trust with that audience, and then eventually you want to be positioning yourself as an authority. Why is positioning yourself an authority with your marketing plan so important? It's because they'll listen to you differently. When a seller has been seeing you everywhere, they've been seeing your videos, they've been seeing your advertisements and you've been advertising like a professional, it changes the perception in their mind from, oh, this is a salesperson, to, oh, this is an expert advisor. This is somebody that I would trust with the sale of my home, which for some people, it's their largest asset. So how do we actually do that? Glad you asked. This is our step number 2, implementing your content strategy, and my favorite, video. How can we use a content strategy to then leverage it to build that celebrity branded agent that you want to be in your marketplace, or better said, a person of interest? So when we talk about becoming a person of interest, we're talking about someone who's going to attract business and not chase business. Now, how we do that is a mindset, and I would like you to start changing your mindset, is that I don't need more leads, I need to build a bigger audience, right? So the biggest difference between building leads and building an audience is that when you're going directly after someone that's becoming a lead, or what we like to call an opportunity, we're really only touching on a very small percentage of the marketplace versus the large percentage of people who potentially could be your client 6, 7, 12 months down the road, or even longer, by just changing your strategy from lead generation to audience building. Here's how we do it. The problem is that at any given time, only about 3% of the total audience is actually going to do business with you right now. Well, that leaves 97% of everyone else who just aren't interested in what your service is. Right now, it could be you might be specializing in listing homes. If I was coaching you right now, I would say spend majority of your time on working with sellers, getting face-to-face with home sellers. Why? It's the highest leverage activity you could have in your business. More on that later. But as far as your marketing principles, it should be speaking to an audience of people who are potential future clients of yours, sellers or buyers. So for instance, if my message was, I just sold 5 houses this week, or my message was, call me if you're interested in a market analysis of your home, we're really only talking to a very small piece of the total addressable audience of people who could potentially be doing business with you in the future. So how can we do it different? I'm glad you asked. How do we connect with that other 97% of our audience who aren't ready to do business with us right now? We do that through what I call deposits. Deposits, another word for deposits would be items of value or pieces of value that you can put out there into the marketplace that people find valuable, right? What we like to say is that you can't make a withdrawal from a bank account that you've opened up until you've made some multiple deposits. Is that fair enough? We can agree on that? The same thing goes with your relationship bank accounts. So think of your audience and think of your potential clients out there who you'd like to do business with. Think of them as little mini bank accounts, right? You can't expect to withdraw business from this group of folks until you've deposited multiple pieces of value, or what we call deposits, into the relationship bank account of your audience. There are 4 types of deposits that we like to use. One is educate. You can educate your clients. I mean, if you are the expert in a particular market, and I'm up here in Cleveland, Ohio, so I would give market data and updates because I am the expert, right? So they're going to be looking to me as the expert, so I can educate them. I can also educate sellers on tips and things that are keeping them up at night, right? Also inspiration. do inspiring things, on your social media channels. Things that make people happy. There's enough doom and gloom out there in the world. We all know that. Inspiring people. Third is entertaining them people. Have a little bit of fun, right? And lastly, interactions. Interactions with your audience on all the different platforms, which we'll go over in a minute, but from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram and now we have TikTok, in interacting with your audience and commenting and liking, all these things, all these add up, and by consistently making these deposits into the relationship bank account of your audience, you're going to develop you're going to infuse goodwill into your market, and you're going to build what we call affinity with your marketplace. Okay, so you've been making consistent deposits into your marketplace, and what that's going to be creating is what we call the law of reciprocation. The law of reciprocation means is that you give, and eventually it comes back to us, right? So how do we do this? Well, did you know that over 122 million people go onto YouTube daily? Now, that is more than CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, and all the other major global news outlets combined. Isn't that crazy? Just on YouTube alone. So what you need is a formula for your content. And so here's the formula. I'm going to break it down. Ready? Great content equals value. Those are those deposits we were talking about, right? Great value is going to build you your audience. Once you build the audience, then you can ask for their business or advertise to them. The advertising gives them awareness of what you do and what you're about. And then, of course, after that, you can actually make some sales. So here's a pro tip. Every great piece of content needs 3 components for it to work its best. One is a hook, something that catches their attention. 2 is the story. The story is what brings that affinity to the relationship, makes them like you and want to follow you more and think of you as the expert ultimately. And third, an offer. What is your offer to your audience? How can you help them solve a problem? Remember, money never changes hands unless a problem is solved. All you're there to do is help your client get from A to B. So think about these things. In your content strategy, what is keeping your clients up at night? Who is your client? Let's say that your client is a home seller and they're thinking of selling their house. Let's take it a step further. Let's say that they're a home seller, let's say in their 60s or 70s, and they're downsizing. The kids have all moved out. The grandkids are around and everything, and they just don't need the huge 4-bedroom, 3 full bath colonial home that they raised the family in. And so what's keeping them up at night? What I would suggest is we call stacking your ammo. Stacking your ammo is breaking some time out and just thinking about what are all the problems that you can help your audience solve. Write them down and stack your ammunition, and this is how the step 1 of creating a great winning content strategy for your real estate business. All right, my favorite part. So what's the most powerful weapon that you're going to have in your content strategy arsenal? Well, I'm glad you asked. Video. So why is video so powerful? Well, for one, your video is about 600 times more effective than the written word. It's a high value deposit into that bank account, that relationship bank account that we talked about. And it invokes that law of reciprocity. So the human unconscious mind doesn't know the difference between seeing you on this screen or on a television screen. Unconsciously, the mind thinks of it exactly the same way. And this is how you're able to grow that affinity that we talked about. And so the goal is to grow that affinity. So let's talk about the 2 types of affinity. First type is your surface affinity. And the second type is your deep affinity. So what's surface affinity? Surface affinity is how you sound, how you look, how you dress, maybe even the quality and production of your video, which sometimes isn't even that important, but that's what we call your surface affinity. Important, but not as important as the second. Our second is deep affinity. This is where the magic happens. This is where the bond is created with you and your audience. And it creates this pillars of messaging that, if followed, is just going to continue to attract more of these people to pick up the phone and call you without you having to door knock, cold call, or do any of the things that we hate doing in the real estate business, right? So what's our first thing? The top 3 videos that you're going to shoot, I'm going to give them to you. These are the top 3 videos that you can use, that you can literally, when this video is over, you can deploy it immediately in your business and start seeing results as long as you do it consistently. Video number 1, local market snapshots. Remember, you're building yourself not as a salesperson, but as a local expert advisor, a celebrity in your marketplace that you're building trust with and you're building that authority with. And the one way to do that is consistently educate your marketplace on the real estate market. Look, real estate is a hot topic. Everyone wants to talk real estate. If you go to a party, people want to talk real estate. If you go here, they want to talk about real estate investing. So put these things out into the marketplace and position yourself as an expert. How many homes are on the market compared to last month? How many sales are happening this month compared to, say, last month, this time last year, same month? What's the difference in there? Why should it even matter to someone who's looking to buy a house? Well, we all know that based upon supply and demand, if you're a buyer, it's better to have a higher supply, right? If you're a seller, it's better to have a lower supply because that raises prices. These are just some of examples of how you can educate your audience and your client to attract more business. The second video is community events. You can literally shoot videos not just on community events that you're doing, but other community events. Leverage the events that are going on in your community, such as the big football game and Friday Night Lights, or maybe there's a really great music concert, or maybe there's an amazing charity event that something you're passionate about that you're going to attend. Be the news source for the events in the community. Be a champion. And speaking of community champion, that leads me to my third video that you should be shooting. And those are local business owner highlights. Look, we as real estate agents, we're local businesses. We're small business owners. And we should be championing the business owners, the small business owners, the local guys out there who are fighting to, make a living and grow their business just like you and I are. So what I did personally in my business is the place that I get my hair cut, Wise Guys. I went there literally, and by the way, you don't need fancy equipment. You don't need fancy lighting and everything. I did everything from this iPhone right here and a selfie stick. And as long as you're doing it again consistently, you're going to see the results. So I went to, again, where I got my haircut. Why? I get my haircut religiously every 2 weeks, and I love the place. The ladies that run the place, they're like family to me. So I help them grow their business by doing a short 5 or 6 minute video and why I go there. So make a list of all the small businesses in your market and become that community champion and be that person who's highlighting your community. All right, so up until now, we've learned how to build a content strategy in your real estate business that will ultimately turn you into the expert advisor, the celebrity agent in your marketplace, ultimately so you can attract business and not have to chase it. And we went over the best platform to do it on is, you guessed it, YouTube. Also, by the way, Facebook, Instagram, all great platforms, but we focused and had most of our success right here on YouTube. So what's the next step? You guessed it. The next step is executing on this. All this that you learned today is pretty much useless unless you actually deploy it into your marketplace right now. The best part is none of this costs you any money. Everybody's got a cell phone these days that has a video on it, so you can actually do everything that I just told you without spending a dime. Now, some people do get caught up, and that's why there's coaching companies out there like us that used to teach this and actually used to charge money for it. Now, I'm not a paid coach anymore. I'm unhireable actually as a coach right now. But what I do is I partner with agents, and we help agents execute and deploy this strategy all over the North America. And I'm happy to sit down for 30 minutes and help you do it. So if you'd like to take me up on that offer, you can just go simply to callalbie.com and you can get into my schedule for a free 30-minute. There's nothing that I have nothing to sell you because there's no coaching, but I'd be happy to hop on a call and talk about your content strategy, how you can implement it. So thank you for spending time with me today. If you found this valuable, please follow me by hitting that subscribe button. I promise to put out more content just like this that'll be valuable for you to help you grow your business. Take me up, callalbie.com to get in my schedule, and I will see you at the top or from the top.